You're
Oh,
gonna
I have the gods on my side today.
Woo, they better be, because we're live.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Ooh, it's a good thing I got high. I've calmed down a little bit since Never Mind the Furthermore. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Ragin to the Vlogs. It is April 29th, 2022, and yeah, what else, Daphne? That's it. Intro.
It's yeah. It's Friday.
Watch this shit, guys.
Hello, comic book readers and collectors. My name is Randy Zimmerman, and I'm here to introduce you to the Fellowship of the Indies. The Fellowship is a group of creators that came together for a promising business deal that fell through. But don't worry, because what came from the deal were 9 spectacular comics from diverse genres and creators. All 9 books are printed and ready to go, along with metal bookmarks, retailer levels, and even month 2 books, which are being specially made for a short period. Just know that by pledging, you'll be getting 9 great comics, 32 pages of book, for the awesome price of $25 plus shipping. That's over 250 pages of incredible indie comics. So secure your copies today.
Mood setting. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Good morning, Daphne.
Good morning.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. The Friday Post-it is out. I remember. Oh my goodness. Oh, so as you can see, I fixed up my background a bit so you don't see the janky wall. It's like, so at least it looks a little more
it's classy,
semi-professional. without looking like I'm broadcasting live from a German basement.
Dude, hello chat. Oh my goodness.
Oh yes. So good morning, everybody. Hello. Yes, it's a Friday. I'm a little discombobulated right now, but I'm just putting myself together. So yes, welcome everybody in the chat, joining us from watching us from regions beyond. So let me get into the actual intro and get us officially started. So hello everybody. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist and illustrator and comic book artist from New York, which explains a lot. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I am known for the funny animal fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which you can also see in my beautiful backdrop right here as well. So this is the book that got me started on this crazy road that it's comics, people. It's like who actually chooses this as a career? You just end up falling into it. That's what it is. And I'm also known for my fantasy soap opera Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which I'm still I'm just beginning to get stuff for the Kickstarter for fulfillment. So so thank you everybody who supported the issue 4 campaign. It's coming along. It's almost, it's almost time for you to get your stuff. But in the meantime, You can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And like I said, if you're joining us from Regions Beyond, from Facebook, from Twitter, from wherever else you're seeing this link, come on over to YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell, join our sexy people in the chat. It's like, this is the place to be. This is where all the cool kids
are. Very
So
sexy
come
chat
on
today.
over and join us on YouTube, subscribe, and you can also check out all my videos on how I do all my comics also here on YouTube at Daphne Lage, Lage art. You get there's something for everybody on our 2 channels. So there you go. Nita, tell the peoples who you are.
My name is Nita Lanning. I'm a writer, vlogger, blogger from Southeast Louisiana. I am the mouth of the South. I am out of fucks today, and I am the CEO and executive producer of the Ragin 2 Broadcast Network.
Yeah. Our field of fucks have been barren for decades.
Barren.
there's no
salted that shit and everything.
It's done. Like the earth is salted. There is no growth here. So. Oh my goodness. So so do we have any quick housekeeping to go through before we get started? Do we? I mean, it's kind of like everybody. Well, let's see. So what campaigns should so we have Fellowship, which you all saw the bump for. So so I don't know how many days we have left, but if you are interested in starting your collection, starting your indie comics journey, support the Fellowship of the Indies. It'll get you 9 independent, very distinct comic books from 7 different publishers to start off your journey. Find your next favorite comic by supporting the Fellowship of the Indies. So thank you for that.
And we don't have cards for the rest, but there's a ton.
Right.
Go ahead.
There I mean, it's like we have a whole bunch of books listed in the chat, links to their campaigns. We have My Jimmy's Life on Quora, which is coming out soon. We have Demon Bitch.
In demand still.
Oh, there you go. So in demand as well. Yes. And I'm looking forward to getting my little plushie. That's for sure. Yes. And we have Demon Bitch by Christie Shinn. She's very close to funding, so close. Let's get her over.
Get her to 100%. So this bitch will shut up.
We need her to get to 100%. So she's almost there. Almost there. So yes. Oh, so Jake. Hello, Jake. So he says that we have 9 days to go on the Fellowship campaign. Thank you very much.
Thank you for telling us our business.
Yes, exactly. Like you
that was not as
I don't know. It's like you would think that what you think that we're like professionals or something. I don't know. Yeah, we just run a YouTube channel. So that's so that a lot of great campaigns listed in the chat, listed in the show notes. You guys all know where to look. So what happened? Oh,
He's upset today. He is running and running.
Yeah, it's like all the emotions are running today. So
and it's not just the PMS.
No, it is not. No, but on some good news, because I had sent out all my stuff to get printed for the Eagle Raven 4 campaign. And I'm just they're beginning to trickle in. So now everything's beginning to feel real again. I had that crash right after the campaign ended, sent out all the files, and I was kind of like getting myself back together again. And now everything's beginning to trickle in, and it's like, oh, okay. So there's like a combination of euphoria and I'm going to crash again after this. So for all of you who helped me who helped me pass all of my stretch goals. So the stretch goal trading cards have come in. Nice. So that, so there we go with their bios on the back. So we can, I guess, like add these to the previous cards that came out for the previous campaigns. And it's like, I figure I'll make enough cards that eventually I have like a full complete set, like back, like remember the trading card sets that was like really big in the late 90s and whatnot. Like it's like everybody was coming out with a trading card set.
Right.
So there we go. So the trading
all
cards,
you need is a chalky stick of gum.
Right, exactly. So we have the trading cards, and I decided to make a special trading card to add to everybody's pledges. So everyone's getting an extra trading card, and it is a trading card of the Jaden Lanning variant covers. So everyone's going to be getting that too. So if you missed out on the variant covers for this, you will be getting a little trading card of it as a little thank you for supporting my campaign. And
I'm so excited. I can't wait till she wakes up and I can show her.
So there you go. So everyone gets an extra trading card too. So yeah, so that's beginning to trickle in. I know I have some more stuff that should be coming in probably by Monday.
Thank you all for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Brian referred
so coming off the high of beginning to get my cards, I also kind of like had a very low moment as well when I was like kind of like looking over some paperwork that Kickstarter sent me, because they send you a receipt and everything for the when you get your the pledges are collected and whatnot, and I think like every person who's run a Kickstarter, who's run any type of campaign, can feel, mostly Kickstarter. I don't know if people on Indiegogo experience this because the money is collected at upfront. So I don't think that this is as much of an issue on Indiegogo. But so now the fees is something that we all know we have to take a hit on. It's like that's just what it is. We're guests on a platform, I guess, that we didn't create. So of course there is a fee for, even though they say it's, like this, the platform is free, but there is a price, a literal price for taking advantage of this platform that was developed. And it's around like 5% for Kickstarter. I think it is 5% for Kickstarter, but now it's like they have a different payment processor. So now there's like a variable processing fee on top of it. So just for our, just kind of like to round it up. So it's around like, so in total, we're talking about after your pledges, the Kickstarter and Stripe, I think they're the processor. Yeah, they're taking a total of almost 10% out of your, right off the top, out of your pledges, which I'm expecting that. That's just the price of admission. It's like, but the problem is that so I guess like, so in the end, like their cut was around like, it's just shy under $500. Okay, it's like, all right, fine. It's like, that's, like I said, that's the thing. I'm not going to get too much into angry numbers because I'm taking
we suck at maths.
We suck at maths. That's just what it is. So no, I am not going to. I made that mistake the last time I tried to talk about numbers and woefully misrepresented my printing numbers. For some bizarre reason, like an asshole, I said that I paid $1 something for my POD printing when that is absolutely was not the case. So actually, if you caught that show, my actual price tag for an average issue of Eagle Raven, 32 pages, full color, it's like almost like $3 per book. So, yeah, so I'm not going to go into any specific numbers, but I'm just going to say almost, and that, your mileage may vary, because actually the Stripe, the Stripe cut is your mileage may vary. Because how much they take out depends on how many backers you have, how much they're pledging. I think like under a certain amount, it's less than what they usually take out. It's a whole thing. So I'm just gonna like say right off the bat, so it's like, so around like $400 and something. That was my fee. That was my fee to the company for allowing me to use their platform. But the problem was, I actually lost more than that. After everything was said and done, on a $6,300 campaign, I mean, mind you, including the Kickstarter fee and Stripe and whatnot, I actually lost a little over $1,000 on the campaign. Which, like I said, the fees, there's nothing you can do about that. Like I said, that's the cost of doing business.
Right.
So where did the rest of the money go? I lost the balance of that money on people who pledged and didn't bother to pay. So a $6,000 campaign or a $6,300 campaign actually was more shy of $5, And I was not happy to realize that when the campaign had closed, I had looked up, on my backers, the people who, like their pledges fell. And bye Marvi. Yeah. That's the printer is real. My prices were not. Yes.
Yes, it did.
Right. So I had contacted, I had sent. It's like, oh yeah. So that's how it felt. That's how it felt. And by the way, I think that my signal is
out
for some
your
reason.
audio is still good.
But as long as my audio is fine, we're okay. If it gets a little too hairy, I'll just go into dot mode. I still have to figure out what that issue is. But before, let me let that squirrel pass. So I had contacted through Kickstarter the people who their pledges had fallen, pretty much. And I just told them, it's like, hey, it's like Kickstarter's telling me that your pledges were dropped and, you have to update your payments and whatnot. And if you want to get your stuff, just please update as soon as possible and yada, yada, right?
Right.
Well, apparently that never happened. So that became money that I lost, and it's like, I did send out another email allowing them to, it's like, look, if you still want the stuff, if you're still interested, you can contact, you can send you can resend your pledge via PayPal or whatever. And that's it. But that's pretty much all I'm leaving it as. It's like, I think by this point, if they don't contact me on PayPal, it's not going to happen. So,
right.
That was it. So it was, so I was like pretty down about it yesterday because of that, because it's like, it's like, okay, it's like, so I had like, I don't know, $600 missing from my pocket pretty much, because people supported the campaign and then decided not to. And the thing is though, if I would have rather they had outright pulled their pledges, it's like I would have just rather they said they're no longer supporting the campaign,
right,
and pulled their pledge completely, rather than make me think
that money was going to be there.
Yeah, that this money was going to be there, especially since stretch goals were hinged on it.
Right.
Because technically, it's like the short story, according to the final count, the short story should have never been printed. because technically I didn't reach that stretch goal because I didn't get that money. But don't worry, everyone is getting that stretch goal. It's like I made that promise that at 6,000 we would get the extra pages in the book, in the main book. We're going to get them. So that's neither here nor there. That's done. But that's the thing, though. It's bad enough that there's people who seem to do that on purpose.
The repeat offenders. Those are the ones that get me.
Right. Yeah. And I think that I'm a little surprised that Kickstarter hasn't done anything about this.
Right.
Either just started taking payments up front, which is optimum, because that would just kill that right off the bat, or at least allow us to block people from pledging. Because there are repeat offenders. There are people who do this on purpose.
The motherfuckers that go in the campaigns, bid one of your higher tiers every fucking time. Yeah. Then they turn around and they never fulfill. They never back. They never honor the pledge.
Right, exactly.
And there's a pattern to them. There are some that are repeats, and really I think we should have a list running in the backgrounds and letting everybody know.
Well, you see, the problem is that as long as we don't have an option to do anything about it on the platform,
it doesn't really
it doesn't really matter.
You can't stop them from backing, but you can not count that money in your head.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but you see, the thing is, though, is that because also the thing that kind of irks me is that Kickstarter displays the money you raised, not the money you collected.
True.
So it's like, so that's kind of like a mind fuck too. Whenever I open up my account and I see all my campaigns and I see the $6,300 there, knowing that that's not the final number.
Right.
And like I said, it's kind of a mind fuck. And look, us artists are very sensitive already. We're very sensitive and self-conscious about our work already. So,
right.
So yeah, that's so I was kind of bummed out by that. But also it's like I'm not allowing that to affect anything that I promised everybody who did back and whose pledges did go through. Like I said, everyone's getting the short story printed. We're still getting that. We're obviously getting all the cards. We're getting the sticker. I mean, it's like I'm not pulling anything because of these setbacks. But here's a question. Though, because of this, here's the debate that I'm having with myself, especially as I kind of like go over my next campaigns.
Are you going to raise the grand again?
What happened?
Wait, go ahead.
Oh, well, that I kind of think that as long as this is an issue, I think that one of the things also that kind of encourages this behavior is really large tiers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really large levels.
Look how many times people back original art and back out.
Right. It's like, and that's the thing, because it's like, and the thing is, though, on the issue 4 campaign, I did have 2 very, very expensive tiers. I had a $400 and a $600 tier, which honestly, I'm really happy nobody backed. Right. I did have on one interview, someone asked me, it's like, oh, do you feel bad about having these expensive tiers that nobody bid on? And I go, no, absolutely not. Actually, I was kind of relieved. Like the tiers were there because I kind of felt like I needed them to be there.
Right.
But at the same time, I think they had the added effect of, it's kind of like being at a convention where they say that you're supposed to have 3 levels of product on your table. You're supposed to have the really inexpensive thing on the table, something that's really expensive on the table, And then you have your middle tier stuff, your middle ground items. Which probably the items you actually want people to buy.
Right.
And what that does is that bookend of really cheap and really expensive, it's a whole psychological marketing thing where it makes the middle ground seem a lot more reasonable. So it's like you're looking, so it's like, okay, you're looking at either a $5 PDF on one end or a $600 all the variants level. All of a sudden, the $50 ketchup level doesn't seem so bad, right? So that's kind of the psychology that I was using with that level. I mean, whether it worked or not, I don't know. I mean, I think that people were supporting.
Well, it trapped one clown.
Well, yeah. You see, that's actually it attracted two. So when my campaign opened, there was somebody who went straight for
about him.
Those levels, those higher levels. And then the second the stream closed, they started messing with their pledge and ended up going to a much lower tier. Which kind of gave me the impression that it was all deliberate. They wanted, I mean, and here's the thing too. Maybe the intention is that they wanted me to look really, really good on camera. But the problem is that the fact that the second my stream ended, they changed their pledge to a much lower level. It's like, you're not doing me any favors. You're not doing a creator any favors by playing that game. Oh, I want you to it's like, I want it to look like you had a really big opening, but I have really no intention of pulling through on that. And it's like, you're not, it's like your intentions may be good, but you're not really, you're only fucking with my head. And it's not just me. You're messing with a lot of people.
You're fucking with all the backers because, look right here. Jody said, "Oh shit, where'd it go?" Okay, he said again. That's the platform. Just like there's nothing stopping that. There's nothing that makes you honor bound to their stretch goals either. But it kind of does.
Yeah.
Because once you announce that goal's been met, your backers get excited and they're expecting these fucking rewards.
Right.
So even though it's someone else's bullshit that's causing you to not be able to afford it, it kind of fucking sets off other people. And that's not your problem either, but it is a dilemma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing is, though, and I don't think it's fair for the people who did get excited for the stretch. I mean, I got excited for the stretch goals.
Fuck yeah. You had a whole goddamn story in there.
Right, exactly. So it's like, I don't think that it would have been fair for any of us if I had said, I lost $1,000. So we really didn't make the stretch goal. So because of that, I'm not, I'm not fulfilling that part of my promise. And it's like, that's horrible. That's horrible customer service. Right. And it's like, it's like, and it's like, no, I couldn't do that. It's like, just because other people are shitty doesn't mean that I have to reflect that. I mean, it's like, because there's, like I said, it's like, there's going to be, there's the people with the good intentions, and then it's like, let's see, and then it's like, there's the people who do it on purpose. And it's like, in the end, the result is the same. You're messing with everybody. You're not just messing with me. You're messing with my backers, Yeah, it's like, really, you're messing. And I'm sure that's, you bring up a point there, Jake. I'm sure everything is worded in a way to make it sound like a negative experience, which is probably why I don't want to put too much. I don't want to put too much, I guess, annoyance on the people who didn't back out, because it sounds shitty. But you know what? Having your pledges drop is also shitty. So no matter what, the end result is the same. And like I said, I would rather you just pull your pledge completely if you cannot follow through, then let me ride on the high of thinking your pledge is valid.
Right.
You know? Yeah, it's so it took me a bit to kind of like get over it. It's kind of so that's kind of like how I was feeling it's like, you know what? It's like I'm not commenting on that case, but holy shit. I mean, it's like it's like, dude, you know what? I can't come, but holy shit, literally and figuratively. It's like, okay. Squirrel. Okay, hold on. Yeah.
Wait.
Right. Yeah.
Assholes. Focus, Daphne. Assholes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like, so that was my thing yesterday. And like I said, I know a lot of people on Kickstarter. I mean, honestly, I really do think that this is a Kickstarter only issue because, like I said, Indiegogo, they collect the money ahead of time. So, it's like so you have to commit. You have to know you want your stuff. Because it's like we've all gone through the hassle of trying to get a refund for something. And I never understood that. Side note, I never understood how is it that credit cards or whatever, they can take the money out immediately. The second I make a payment, the second I decide on something, that money is out of my account like that. Same thing if I'm using a debit card. That money is out like that. But when I want that money back, even if
motherfucker,
a second
it's
later,
3 weeks later.
It's like, you have to wait 2-3 weeks to get a refund.
But here's
how is that? Like, what is that? What is that?
No, it doesn't. And
no. It's like it's like Indiegogo has its own issues.
Indiegogo has its own issues and its own their own expectations as a fan base. Yeah. Fantasy, furries, and manga do poorly on Indiegogo.
Right. And
they
like
do much better on Kickstarter, especially if the Kickstarter is run before. If they're going to run both, especially if you run the Kickstarter first every fucking time, and then run your Indiegogo and slide into in demand.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we spoke about this at length on another stream, although I don't remember if it was ours or mine personally, where
it was somewhere.
Yeah, the Kickstarter, the Kickstarter algorithm really, really benefits the creator, and there are ways to play it so that you can really benefit from that. And so it makes it a lot easier for people to discover your product on your project on Kickstarter, as opposed to Indiegogo, where you have to bring your audience with you. And that, as far as I know, the platform really doesn't do anything to help promote you. It's literally just a platform. But like I said, that could be a whole other discussion. We're hitting we're just a little past the half hour mark. So
I don't want to calm down.
Well, at least let's show some love, and then we can come back.
Who you want to love today, Daphne?
Let's love everybody.
Let's love everybody.
All
right, that's a lot of love.
All right. I don't know.
Hang tight, guys. We'll be right back after these messages.
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
It's Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch the Craze.
You are watching Catch the Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch the Craze.
Where are all the indies at?
A Catch the Craze podcast.
What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch the Craze.
What are you going to do?
Subscribe now to Catch the Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
You are an independent. Catch the Craze. Making moves on your own. Catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets. Catch the Craze. Join the movement. Catch the Craze.
Yes.
And we are back.
Yeah, I was just using the time to catch up with the chat just to see what it does. So just to comment there to Mike, that's why I wouldn't do that. If canceling stretch goals, I think, is grimy, and just because somebody is being grimy to me doesn't mean that I have to be grimy to the people who are supporting me.
Right.
That I just couldn't do that. Let's see. Brian K. Morris was talking about he was actually able to get somebody blocked on.
Yeah, that was back in the day, though. That was what, 10 years ago, Brian?
He said 5. Now I think that wouldn't happen.
No. We've tried.
Now,
there's one guy in particular that has hit several campaigns I've worked in collaboration with, and it's like as soon as his name pops up, I tell people, don't even count that motherfucker. He's gonna bounce. Yeah. He's gonna bounce.
Exactly.
And 90% of the time he does.
Right. And you see, and this is also the worst thing too. So also Joe was saying, let's see. It's like, I'm actually happy you're talking about this. I'm not thinking about added. The stretch goals is based on actually funded collective statement. You see, that's the thing. I don't know if that's kind of, I don't know. It's like, again, it's like, you see, this is the position that Kickstarter puts us in, because because again, it's like what type of confidence does that build if you're looking at a campaign, if it's like there's finite amount of dollars to go around, and it's like you're looking at campaigns. And all of a sudden you start seeing disclaimers about, stretch goals are based on actual collected monies, not I guess like pledges, not like gross pledges. Would you support that campaign? It's like if you saw something like that,
as a first-time backer for someone, no,
right?
Coming from someone like you, because I'm already a fan and just
right. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. It's like I keep seeing brand new people coming in on my campaigns, and it's like, and I, and it's like, and you see, and this is the problem too. Those types of because here's the thing. Those types of hits, we were joking.
The disclaimers turn people off.
Yeah, we were joking about Brandon Sanderson probably losing like $22 million, or whatever the number was being bandied around. It's like he raised like $50-something million, and maybe dropped pledges. It would be in the millions for him, but he's not going to hurt. A $500 dropped pledge hurts for me.
Right.
But here's the thing. Brandon Sanderson is not going to have that disclaimer on his campaign because he raises. Tom McFarlane wouldn't have that disclaimer. So it's like, this is something that actually punishes us as self-publishers, as small publishers, as small creators, as independent creators, which means that that the larger companies that are on the platform, the millionaire publishers, it's like whoever is on, like, they can afford to take the hit. So they don't need to do so. So now what you're doing is you're creating an environment where small publishers look like we really can't be trusted.
Right.
And then it's like, what happens? That pushes everybody to the larger companies, which there's another thing, another topic that I had wanted to get into, but not today, but I'll give everybody a taste of it. The way people, like, they love small press until for some fucking reason a celebrity decides they want to associate themselves with a comic, then all of a sudden it's all about, oh, they're coming to save indie comics. And that has to be kind of like the biggest, one of my many pet peeves. But that one especially has been irking the shit out of me, because I've been seeing like all these ads for all these celebrities getting into comics now, and people are losing their minds like, oh, indie comics is saved. It's like, one, saved from what?
Right.
Because the shitty distribution system that we're still in the middle of is still
saved
there
when they became indie.
And it's like, and all that does is that means that it's like, oh, there goes, it's like, oh, Wesley Snipes is now going to attract all the people who, maybe felt forced to deal with us nasty indie creators because they don't like what's coming out in the mainstream. But now that Wesley Snipes, but Keanu Reeves, it's like I said, that's a whole other thing that I could go off, and it's like, I can do it. I can do it. I mean, it's like they think that like people think that celebrities coming into Kickstarter would benefit, that whole rising tide type thing. I mean, not a Brian K. Morris rising tide, but just the whole rising tide lifts all boats. And it's like, yeah, but for some reason, the triple decker yachts seem to rise higher for some reason. It's like, I'm on a raft that looks like the shit from the sinking of the Medusa painting at the Louvre. And
we look like we're trying to make it from Cuba to Florida, folks.
Right. No, for real. Absolutely for real. And meanwhile, but it's like, the guy screaming off the third deck on a mega yacht is like screaming, rising tides, raise all boats. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Wesley and Keanu. I respect you as people, but not as comic book creators. And it's like, and then it's like, and then there's this whole side thing that what I've seen on YouTube, where it's like all of a sudden all these mega corporations and all these celebrities want to do their own YouTube channels, and then all of a sudden the algorithm starts benefiting them.
Right.
All of a sudden, the algorithm is tweaked to benefit those channels. And don't think that wouldn't happen. If we ended up with a critical mass of celebrities and companies coming onto Kickstarter to fund their projects, which in the end, all they're doing is they're just making it, these are kind of like concepts for studios. They're not doing comics because they love the medium. They're doing comics because it's the new hot shit. And it's like, this is an easy way for us to sell projects to studios. But trust me, once they sell that project to studios, they're not all of a sudden, they're not interested. They're not interested in doing another comic. I mean, it's like, look, maybe Keanu Reeves does have a personal interest in comic books. Honestly, I have a feeling it's rather superficial. I think the only person and the only actor who I truly believe is a real fan of comics is friggin' Nicolas Cage. And even then, it's not. He doesn't collect indie comics. He's not an indie comics collector. But yeah, these people are not saving us. It's not that we don't need saving by celebrities, because celebrities are not, they're just coming in and they're flooding what little we have with their nonsense. And what happens at these platforms ends up changing to suit them, forgetting about us. So going back to my whole thing about the disclaimers. So us putting disclaimers on our campaigns only benefits these larger companies who don't give a shit about actually doing, who actually care about what they do. It's just they're just putting out another product, on Kickstarter. That's all it is. Yeah, thank you, Jake. Yes, that's exactly what happens. So we take these hits that to those guys are nothing. That's just the cost of doing business. But for us, it's like losing $600 on a campaign. I mean, it's like, yo,
that's a hit.
That's a hit. That's a hit for me. It's like, and the thing is though, and these are hits that affect our ability to kind of like move forward with the work as quickly as we want. It's not like we're raising money and then, buying a house afterwards and going, oh, sorry, I can't print the books. I bought a house instead, or something stupid like that. And mind you, which has happened.
Which happens. That's another fucking rant there.
Yeah, which has happened. People who kind of forget what the crowdfunding is for, that it's like they come up, with whatever project that they're doing, talk about, they do the whole thing. It's like, oh, it's a personal project and this, that, and the other thing. And it's a personal dream of mine. And
yeah, meanwhile, I've been waiting for my book for fucking 6 months to a year or more.
Right. If they ever, we know one guy who it's like 5-6 years later, he's yet to ship. He's yet to have his book shipped. So it's like, but that was more because he completely, he did this whole, it was just stupid. It's like, but in the end though, what happened was that he severely underestimated international shipping, and he literally can't afford to ship anything, which also brings me to another thing about having skin in the game. Again, that's a whole other topic where it's like, if your book can't come out, if something, because you're bad at math, I mean, people still pay for that shit.
Right.
Just because Kickstarter says that we're not a storefront, because again, it goes back to the thing where it's like, well, technically I have no obligation to honor any of my stretch goals if that many people dropped.
Right.
But how does that look on me? It's like, yeah, okay. It's like, yeah, Kickstarter is kind of like legally gives me an out, but it's not the right thing to do. It's not a moral thing to do. So yeah, so it's like, it's just like, okay, it's like, well, Kickstarter is not a storefront. Sorry. It's like, really? How many people do you not support when they do that shit? I mean, it's like, right. Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, there are people like it's like, yeah, they forget they have to, like, especially now, with the tax rule changes, it's like now if you make anything over $600, you have to report that shit. So yeah, so now you better believe it's like every fucking receipt is accounted for. But there were people who were like, it's like, oops, fucked up the numbers. Sorry, you get nothing.
Right.
It's like
wasting people's time and money.
Right, exactly. And it's like, or it's, and then it's like, there's all these different variables, it's like, it's the people who, it's like, oh, I want to do a comic, but they've never done a comic book before, and then it's like, they're trying to do a campaign, and then it's like, you don't even know if you're going to get a finished issue 1, much less issue 2 or anything. I mean, it's like, yeah, but but they raised this money, and it's like, oh well, but and it's like no, it's like, look, if you just wanted the money, there's a GoFundMe for that, right? But it's like, don't come over here on Kickstarter and be like, be a poser. It's like, we're the old people at the club. It's like fucking posers, right? Thinking you can come here and do comics just because you felt like it. You were born into it. You bleed for it.
Nothing irks me more than a shit backer. A shit backer and a shit fulfiller. Like,
exactly.
Don't.
It pops. Hey, pops. Hey, pops. It's like time has value. Time has value. Money has value. And the thing is, though, and if just because I'm not okay, so if I pledge to a campaign that never fulfills, you wasted my time, right? Because here I was getting all excited for your stuff and this, that, and the other thing, and for some reason for another, you decided, oh, oops, I got it over my head. It's like, that's not my problem. No. It's like, and I think that's what, let's see. I think that, don't waste my time. I think don't waste my time as a creator on crowdfunding, as a backer on crowdfunding,
a promoter of crowdfunding.
Right. It's like a promoter of
because let me tell you, one thing that's under my skin right now is I watched another promoter promote the fuck out of an individual. Yeah. And they bailed on him. And that really fucking irks me when I waste my time and my energy. And I promote a shit ton of people for free, but there are people that I push super hard that I'm paid for. And I could take on more paid if I wasn't doing so much free. And there's a certain creator out there right now fucking slamming it, looking fucking beautiful. Another promoter was out there pushing, had shit set up for it, everything, and bailed just because someone with a bigger following stepped up and invited, I assume, which is not that promoter's fault, but whatever. That's here nor there. You need to be honorable. If you say you're going to give a fucking creator money on a campaign, give them their fucking money. If you tell your backers you're going to give them a fucking product, give them a fucking product. If you tell a podcaster you're going to be on their fucking show and they've spent their time and energy promoting you, motherfucker, you need to show up unless something's wrong.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
There's enough assholes out here.
Right.
Like, stop making this place fucking miserable. We're supposed to be here to have fun.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm ready to start fucking cutting fuckers off. I'm done. And in fact, I already started. Yeah. I'm not playing these games.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Business, it's a business that should be fun. And if I can't have fun and you are known to be an asshole, known to fuck people over or whatever, I don't want you here.
Right. Yeah.
No step.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it just comes to, and you see, and this is the thing too. It's like, this is the thing that I don't understand. The dropped pledges, we see who you are.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's like when you start, when you're going all over the place, when you're friggin' turning my pledges into a roller coaster, I know who you are.
And other people do too, because guess what, motherfucker? We all talk and don't fuck over a podcaster because we're the worst, especially a promoter. Yeah. Holy shit, dude, we are all in cahoots with one another somewhere. We're all connected. Right. It's a network and it's on its own. Everybody finds out.
Yeah, hit Patrick's comment right there.
Which one?
It's like people understand the last one. People understand. People understand some people flake out, but it's the damage done to people that promoted them. Right. You see, and this is the thing too. This is the thing. Like I said, I understand that you change your mind and whatnot, or something happens, or it's like, oh, I can't it's like, you know what, I really wanted this, but I can't. I understand that. And everybody does understand that, and like I said, I would rather, if all of a sudden it turns out that you can't support, I would rather you pull your pledge than
transparency. It's all about transparency, people.
Then let your pledge drop. And I really do think that the vocabulary that Kickstarter uses is on purpose to keep people from doing it. But I don't think it really, I think it's kind of a disservice. It's like, I really do think that they could solve all this problem by just collecting the money up front and that's it. It's like, because then it's like, you have to think about it. You have to really, it's like, can I commit to this? And then you make a decision. And then you pull the trigger on that decision. Or it's like, you wait until the last day. And it's like, okay, I know this is going to, which honestly is what I hear why the last day of a campaign is usually the busiest. Because that's when everybody knows, everybody who pledges on the last day, you're assuming is committed because they know they're going to get charged the next day. So, so there are people who it's like, I guess, kind of, understand. It's like, okay, I'll wait until the last day and then I'll pledge because I know that the money's going out the next day once the campaign ends. So it's like, so there you go. So there are ways around it. If you're not sure you want to pledge, wait until the last day, and in the end, it's like, but Kickstarter could solve a lot of problems just by accepting payments up front, because then it's like, you don't have to worry about dropped pledges or being embarrassed about, the way it's looking, like I said, because I see it and they color code it too. So I can see it right there. And there's like a time where the friggin', my pledges looks like a friggin' maxi pad with all the red that comes up because people are adjusting their pledges. I mean, it's like, I'm like, dude, stop that. Make a decision. But in the end, it's like this is a reality. I know, it's like, yes, it's like, am I bitching? Yes, I am. It's like,
bitch away. Fuck it. I'm tired of
it helpful?
bullshit.
I have no idea. All I know is that everybody who runs a campaign comes across this, and I'm not the type of person that wants to make everything seems like it's bread and roses, where it's like, oh, everything's fine. Everything's great. You can do it. If I could do it, you can do it. That's echo. No, this is kind of like, these are all the bumps in the road. It's like, this is the stuff that you're going to have to like mentally prepare for and kind of learn to deal with it as part of the process. And unfortunately, what I really learned yesterday is that dropped pledges are a drag. And until Kickstarter decides to do something about that issue, which honestly benefits everybody. Honestly, until they decide that they're going to fix this issue, it's just something we have to put up with. And it's like, it's like, good intentions, bad intentions, the end result is the same. So, the next time you see a campaign and you feel like you want to do the creator a favor, chill on that thought. It's like, if you really want a book, support the book.
If you can't afford the fucker, share it. Don't be a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to put money in a campaign, because you feel pressure to support. Tweet it out. Put it on your Facebook page. Just tell people about it. It's as good as gold. It's like, I would rather you do that. And even then, if you just want to donate money, you can do that too. There's the little box there. Pledge $1. It's like, if the Creative Fund can have a bot that pledges $1 to every campaign that goes live, you can pledge $1 too. You know, it's like, oh yes, and go sub to Black Rose Comics. Yes, and that's the thing too. That's also another way. If you want to support all of these creators,
sub to all these channels I just threw in the wrong fucking chat
for free. You don't have to spend money. You don't have to, you don't have to feel pressure to support campaigns financially. You can support us in the freest way possible. Subscribe to all of these channels that are in the chat. Subscribe to our channels. Subscribe to our YouTube. Join our Facebook groups. Join, our Twitter feeds. Spread the word. It's like you don't need to spend money you don't have on a campaign thinking you're doing us a favor. You're just talk about us.
Throw your
just say, I love this book. I really want to see this book succeed. It's like it's like there's so many different ways you can support a creator. Without having to kind of mess with their campaigns. So there you go. So on that note, I guess we come to exactly the top of the hour. I want to thank everybody in the chat for keeping it lively as always. I want to thank everybody who's watching us right now from regions beyond, because I never know where a StreamYard gets that number from. But thank you for watching there. And yeah, so any last thoughts on this, Nita?
I think I'm good. Good.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. So on that note, if you want to learn more about me and the work that I do, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links, in the show notes too, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. But I mostly hang out on Facebook. That's where all the cool kids are too. If you want to see my doodles, my work in progress, my whole thing, I mostly post to Facebook. But again, you can also see all my videos, all my previous live streams on my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art. And you can also catch me here on the Ragin 2 channel with Nita every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. And so barring anything happening, i.e. my handyman finally comes to fix my office, barring that, Sunday Funnies. I will be returning to Sunday Funnies starting May 1st. So me and Randy can talk about the comics we love instead of, whatever nonsense is going on. You
can think happy thoughts for a couple hours.
Think happy thoughts. So I will be returning to Sunday Funnies starting May 1st. This coming Sunday at 9 a.m. So there we go. So that's my housekeeping for the day. My final housekeeping. Any final words, Nita?
No, y'all know where to fucking find me.
Right.
I'm here.
Ragin 2. Subscribe.
Ragin 2.
Hit the bell. Hit the
Don't
button.
be an asshole.
Right. Yeah, that's really, you would think that would be so easy, right? But it's not. But
apparently not, because we have to keep going off on these tangents.
Right, exactly. So on that note, we come to another end of a Friday, and I can move my Post-its around again. So remember something. What am I supposed to
Moisturize.
Moisturize. Yes, exactly. Eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Be real that way. So on that, we'll see you again on Monday back on the vlogs.
Hit the button.
Hit that button.